Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're going over the HBO original series called High Maintenance. This HBO series went from 2016 to 2020. It just ended this year, and I got into it kind of late. I think I got into it last year, and I started just kind of just watching it from the beginning on. Um, and I really loved it. I thought it was so amazing. I thought the whole thing was so clever. The whole writing, the acting, the environment, and everything was so nice. So a little background with this. So this was directed by Ben Sinclair and Katja Bletchfeld. They together made High Maintenance. And though High Maintenance was actually a Vimeo original series that came in 2012, 2015, and then I guess HBO must have picked it up by giving its own little spin to it. So the plot is a comedy that explores the private lives of unique New York individuals through a common thread. Their weed dealer man, their delivery man. So which is his name goes by Guy, and he's played by one of the directors, Ben Sinclair, and who is amazing and is adorable. And it pretty much just goes like each episode is a different cast, different people. He's part of it. Sometimes they add in some people from the past and different parts, but most likely it's always different casts and different episodes, with the exception of Ben Sinclair's character, the guy. So, so I watched the first episode. I was hooked completely, easily. I thought it was so great. I want to give you some of the highlights of some of the episodes that I really liked, because there's so much to break down. But I think it'd be better if you kind of just go off of what I'm talking about with this episodes. So let's get it started. So my favorite episodes. The first one has to be in season 1, episode 3, this episode is called Grandpa. And pretty much it's shot in a perspective from a dog, from a dog's perspective named Gatsby, and pretty much he falls in love with his dog walker, and who happens if you bookmark that dog walker, she actually has a very important role in the whole series. She's played by, hopefully I pronounced this right, Yeld Stone, who's been in Orange is the New Black. She's been in Deep Water. I watched that a couple times, and I think she's adorable. I think she's amazing. Everything that she just brings she's very sunshine, like just a bright ray of sunlight. Anyway, as a character, she's part of the whole thing, and she has her own ups and downs. But this one pretty much follows this dog, who is his owner's not really paying attention to him much, and so he kind of just and so to the point where the guy pays for a dog walker, and who's super sweet and super nice, and he falls in love with her, and just stuff kind of goes on as its ups and downs, but it's so cute. It's so cute. I don't want to spoil anything because I think it's worth going through, especially to catch the emotion. The other one I like is episode 6 of season 1, called X. And this one is pretty much the guy goes to visit a agoraphobic whose name is Patrick, and he is a longtime customer, and he is just I guess he lived with his aging mother, and his aging mother passed away, and he pretty much has to it's just his on days of trying to control how he feels about things and how to keep distracted, but all of his stuff is kind of surrounded by his mother and the grief of his mother. So, and the guy comes in and kind of just things start changing. He starts suggesting him going to explore the town and getting out, and he does, and it just turns to a beautiful episode. The next one I really like is season 2, is literally the first episode of season 2. Pretty much it goes on to 2017, where Trump got elected, and pretty much that becomes the most busiest time for the guy, because he's just it's everybody's stressed. Everybody stresses over it in New York. So they're sending, so he's like biking here, biking there, biking there, biking there, biking there, to like give everybody their delivery. And it's just so amazing because he also has this kind of weird, there's a weird side to it where he kind of like, people are like, oh, how's it out there? He's like, it's actually okay. Like, people kind of understand we're in the same boat kind of thing. And I thought it was so cute. And I felt like that was exactly what happened in the very beginning. We're like, oh, we're together, you know? And slash another story, because there's always two stories in one episode, but one of the other stories is pretty much this couple, or these two guys and this woman hook up and in this hotel like all day, and they don't see anything about like Trump getting elected or anything. So it's just a whole thing of them figuring out everything and kind of catching up to life. Another one I liked was episode 4, Hasidic man explores the the world outside his sect, and pretty much just talks about like Jewish or Hasidic people who get excommunicated, it seems like, from their sect. I don't really know. I do not know too much about this like religion or much about the insides and out of it. So please be patient with me with this. But I just love the atmosphere of visiting that world and understanding what, and like taking a peek of what it's like to not be part of the real religion technically, but also wanting to be a part of it. You know, it's very interesting. It kind of reminds me of just being gay, or being like, just like finding places where you can actually be yourself with other people without having that scrutiny and everything. Another one I like is episode 6 of season 2. It's pretty much the time where the guy meets a guy who's, hopefully I pronounced this right, is Abdullah, who's played by Abdullah Saeed, who's produced Bong A. I think it's on. I know for sure it's on Netflix. I don't think I wrote that completely out. But anyway, the minute the guy got into Abdullah's Uber, it was on. I adored him. I loved this guy, and he becomes his kind of like his partner in this, and like helps him for this a couple days, like, or for a day, just taking on some of the deliveries. And he's so cool, he's so great, and in this episode it gets time for the guy to go have some time off, so he takes some shrooms, and he just goes around town, and it's super funny. Episode 7 of episode 3, or season 3, was really, it just felt so good to see. It's a construction worker that develops a crush on this bodega worker, and they're both just adorable, and the natural climb of their connection just grows, and it's so cute. And they're still like both in the closet, where one's ish in the closet, the other one is in the closet, and it's just kind of seeing that connection just happen. It was so cute. And also on the other side, the second story of that episode is the guy is actually involved. I skipped a lot, but he involved with this woman named Lee, who's played by Britt Lower. She's a man-seeking woman and sisters. So she and I just there's a vibe from her that I was getting, like this kind of like weird pretentious vibe. Like, she was cool, but there were some things like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't really care for this. Everything seemed to be in her way, and it just didn't feel like, I don't know, I didn't connect with her well. But apparently he did, and they got together, and they go to this theme party, and where she meets his ex, whose name's Jules, who's played by Caitlin Scheel, who's in VHS and You're Next. I remember her in You're Next. I think she dies. So Lee meets Jules, and so she gets a little self-conscious, and everything else is just goes downhill from there. And I think over time he starts to realize that night, he's like, I don't think we're a good match, kind of thing. You don't see them break up, you don't see them go on, you just see his face while they're walking off. You can see he's like, this isn't working. So because next thing you know, she's not part of the show anymore. But I thought that was very interesting and very interesting to see his life outside of him just delivering and stuff like that. We got to see more of him. And then finally, the episode, I loved episode 4, or season 4, but there was just the last episode, the finale of the season, just tore me into pieces. I thought it was so cute. It was pretty much, half of it's about these Snowden flight attendants who spend Christmas Eve together in this like kind of like a hostel kind of looking thing, and it's so cute because everybody's getting together and they're all on the same boat, so they just try to make the best of everything, and it's so cute. And then also in the other half of this show or episode, the guy is visited by his niece, and we get to know a little bit more about his family, which is we never got to. And he pretty much has, and the guy has a dog, develops a, or over time, like this season, gets a dog, or maybe it's the last episode of last season. He gets a dog, and the dog has like one eye kind of like shut, but it's so cute. It's a little pug looking thing, mixed something, and it's so cute. And so apparently, like over time, like the niece gets ready to go back after visiting, and he gives her the dog, and it makes you think two things. One, is it kind of like passing on? Like, is she gonna be a weed dealer? Like, is she gonna be something else? Like, we're gonna like see her take on the mantle of the guy, but she's like the gal, or like, I don't know. Like, I am so excited. But at the very, very end of her departure, she's like, "Goodbye, Uncle Rufus," and we finally get his name. We never got his name before. So Rufus, oh my god, I'm crying. I think it's so cute. I think it was so cute ending. I really like this show so much. It was so laid back. It didn't take itself super seriously, but it shined on point of perspectives are so nice. I just loved it. And I also feel like there's also side note. There's a art imitates life. Life imitates art kind of thing with the whole Jules being his ex, who's in a relationship with another woman, separately, but they're still friends. Like him and Jules are still friends, but apparently that also mirrors the directors, the Katya and Ben hold the same direction of how they were married, and then she came out as gay, so then they got divorced, but they still were making this while it was happening, and then he kind of took over the mantle over time. But it was so, it's just so cute. The whole thing is adorable. I think the whole show is just amazing. I was very sad to see it end, but I'm actually excited to see if he decides to do, or if she decides either, or if they both decide to do it together, decide to do more like shows or direct more shows, stuff like that. I would love to see. I love their stank that they put onto this. It's just so nice. Leave a comment below, tell me what you thought. I easily give this I don't know. I haven't done a video one in so long. I don't even know how I rate things. Do I do it out of a 5 or a 10? I think I'm gonna give it I'm gonna do 10, and if I usually do it 5, I'll base it directly, but it doesn't really need to. 10 out of fucking 10. 10 out of 10. It's just every episode is just amazing, and I love it. I definitely highly suggest watching it. I think it's so great. Once again, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about the show. If you liked it before, if you had a favorite episode that you like, tell me. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all that jazz. And I'll see you all in the next video.